Hello fans, welcome to Man UD Transfer HQ. Stay updated with the latest transfer gossip and breaking news.
Our today news is exclusive. Man United given Harry Kane transfer update after Ruben Amorim's desperate plea to board. Ruben Amorim pleaded with Manchester United to improve their forward line in January, and this ex-Premier League striker believes the club should have listened. Manchester United are missing a player like ex-transfer target Harry Kane after Ruben Amorim's plea for a striker, says Clinton Morrison. The Portuguese head coach has endured a so far dismal spell in charge of the Red Devils, scarcely winning in the Premier League with a stellar Europa League record as the only saving grace in the January window. Amorim, who arrived to supplant Erik ten Hag in November, meaning many of the current cohort aren't suited to his vastly different system, pleaded with his employers to splash the cash on a star who would grab goals. While the club didn't oblige, as deals were difficult to do, former top-flight marksman Morrison singled out Kane as a star who they should have done all they could to purchase. Any club in the world would miss Harry Kane, Morrison stated, speaking to freebets.com. Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in world football. You can ask anybody. Man United were linked to Harry Kane. Before he went to Bayern, Man United should have pushed out all the stops to get him because they're missing him badly. Amorim's men have mustered a dismal number of league goals so far this campaign. After being forced to play midfield star Kobbie Mainoo in an advanced position at the beginning of February, before the transfer market slammed shut, Amorim revealed that he and United were doing all they could to add potency to their front line. "We are trying everything to improve the team," Amorim admitted. "And trying to balance the urgency of the moment. We know all of the aspects of our club in the moment, but we are trying everything. We have to improve as a team to score goals, and we are trying the best. This market is really hard on the clubs. To make some deals here, it's hard. Only one senior recruit was brought to Old Trafford in January, wing-back Patrick Dorgu. With few players adapted to play in their new manager's system, Morrison fears it may take some time to elevate the Red Devils back to where they're expected to be. It just doesn't look good where they are in the league," Morrison added. "We're talking about Man United Football Club, one of the big, if not the biggest team in world football. And the recruitment at times has been nowhere near good enough. I don't know if there's a root cause. I just think sometimes you look and say you've got aging players who probably can't play in this system. It's going to take 2 or 3 transfer windows until Ruben Amorim can get the players, and people can buy into how he wants to play." Stay tuned for more updates on Man UTD Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our second news is Man United news. Marcus Rashford transfer ruled out as Erik ten Hag makes honest admission. As Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim prepares for Sunday's FA Cup match against Fulham, his predecessor Erik ten Hag has been speaking about his own time in charge. Manchester United don't have much time to rest after Wednesday's match against Ipswich Town, with their next game just 3 days away. Ruben Amorim will lead his side out against Fulham on Sunday, knowing the FA Cup could provide United's best chance of European qualification. Erik ten Hag secured Europa League qualification last term after beating Manchester City at Wembley, after an 8th-place finish meant their league form wasn't enough on its own. Ten Hag has been back in the spotlight this week after giving an interview about his time in charge. He has pointed to the highlights from his spell, while also making comments which echo those of the man now in the dugout. There's also an update on Marcus Rashford, whose long-term future is uncertain despite his loan move to Aston Villa. Here are Mirror Football's latest lines from around Old Trafford. Ten Hag pinpoints highlight. Erik ten Hag has spoken about how much he misses Old Trafford specifically. The Dutchman spoke about walking into an empty Old Trafford during his time at the helm, while also reflecting on his rapport with United fans. "The feeling is hard to describe, but before every match I always walked into an empty Old Trafford alone," ten Hag told SEG Stories. "That is such an iconic place. If I miss anything now, it is Old Trafford." On the subject of the fans, he added, "I enjoyed it immensely. The fans, really fantastic. So committed, so dedicated, so loyal. To my team, to me, to my staff. We also gave them 2 prizes after a 6-year drought. I was appreciated. Ruben Amorim and Erik Ten Hag both feel Manchester United's players can sometimes struggle in the face of the significant criticism that can come from playing poorly for the club. While Ten Hag went as far as saying the current generation of players have thinner skin than those who came before them, Amorim phrased things a little differently. They feel the pressure that they need to win at Manchester United, and every time we lose and every time they don't perform there are a lot of people on social media and in the newspaper they are putting on a lot of pressure, Amorim told reporters. Then they go to the pitch and try to fix things, but not in a good way, thinking too much, not playing the way they're supposed to play. The other people are talking about them all the time, all their friends, social media, former players, and they take it so personally, and sometimes it's really hard for them to turn things around. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our third news is Arsenal news. Mikel Arteta hits back at critics as William Saliba transfer warning sent. Arsenal are 11 points behind Liverpool in the Premier League title race, with boss Mikel Arteta facing increasing scrutiny over his management of the Gunners this season. Arsenal's season is on life support after Saturday's defeat to West Ham, with the Gunners now 11 points adrift of leaders Liverpool. Mikel Arteta will take his side to high-flying Nottingham Forest on Wednesday night as he looks to get them back on track. Arteta's task has been made difficult by a succession of injuries, though club bosses did opt against adding any reinforcements in the January window. The Spaniard has now hit back at those criticizing his decision-making and the performances of his players. Arteta's spiky response comes as he was warned about the future of star defender William Saliba. Arteta hits out Mikel Arteta claims Arsenal's issues and setbacks should have them sat in mid-table as he hailed the resilience of his team. The Gunners have been slammed in recent days as their title hopes went up in smoke, but Arteta has insisted he is proud of his troops. It's been incredibly satisfying to work with the players and the coaches and staff to overcome certain situations. If someone told you at the start of the season that by this time, you have played 5 times with a red card, each time for over half an hour in these games, he said. And you have lost this amount of players, what's the bet that you are in the middle of the table at least? And out of the Champions League? That's not the situation, so that tells you the resilience, the ambition the team has, every individual has. Mikel Arteta has insisted he will not give up on winning the title this season. Arsenal are now 11 points behind leaders Liverpool, but Arteta has insisted that his side will continue to push the Reds. I'm not going to stop over my dead body. Over my dead body. If not, I'll go home. Mathematically, it's possible. You are there, you have to play every game. Suddenly, 3 days ago, we could close the gap and you are 1.5 games away. It doesn't matter. We have to continue to go, he said. The reality is there's so many games to play and you have to get back to it. And we have the levels and the consistency and the hunger to go again. And that's what we're going to do on Wednesday. Ian Wright has warned Arsenal they are risking losing William Saliba in the summer. The defender's contract is entering its final 2 years and Wright believes that he could look to depart. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our last news is Pep Guardiola fits the bill as Brazil legend refuses to deny job talks and issues demand. Pep Guardiola has been managing Manchester City since 2016, but their recent run of form has seen his name touted with one particular national team. Footballing great Ronaldo has refused to deny that he's spoken to Pep Guardiola about taking the Brazil job, and demanded they hire one of the best coaches in the world. Dorival Jr., who has only ever managed in Brazil, is their current manager, having taken over from the sacked Fernando Diniz at the start of last year. However, their form has been iffy, with Brazil 5th in World Cup qualifying and winning just 3 of their last 6, most recently drawing with Venezuela and Uruguay back in November. Guardiola has long been linked with the job, having previously flirted with the idea of moving into international management. At the same time as Brazil's 2 draws, the president of the Brazilian Football Confederation, Ednaldo Rodrigues, released a statement denying they had contacted the Man City boss regarding him becoming the new head coach. Rodrigues said, although he is one of the greatest coaches in the world, there was no involvement from the CBF to make any contact. We've been working with the coaching staff led by Dorival Jr. and we're satisfied. Yes, Dorival continues, the point is that he has a contract, the CBF has until 2026, he goes until the World Cup. It's up to him. Guardiola then signed a new deal with Manchester City in the same month, committing his future with the club he has managed since 2016 all the way through to 2027. However, Brazil's top World Cup goalscorer and retired footballer Ronaldo believes that a proven winner is what's needed for the team, and Pep fits that bill. During an interview with ESPN, Ronaldo was asked if he had spoken to Guardiola personally about managing the national team. The pair played together for 1 season at Barcelona, and while Ronaldo was coy when answering the question, he admitted that the team deserves the best. The 48-year-old said, "I would love to be able to tell you everything I'm doing. But, at this moment, diverting attention from the main problem of Brazilian football is not going to help. The choice of coach is important, and I am talking about it. But we cannot lose focus. The Brazilian national team needs to have the best players and coaches. Whoever arrives must play a key role in the development of Brazilian football. I want him to be actively involved in that process." Ronaldo also noted that people who have won trophies in their career are what Brazil needs to move forward, which is another thing Guardiola has plenty of experience of. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Man United Transfer HQ, and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop with the latest transfer news and rumors. One more thing.